What's up, guys? Welcome back to episode 49 of Psychotic and Iconic. Thank you to everybody that's tuning in with us. Thank you to everybody that likes, follows, and subscribes to all of our platforms. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and do so. I'm Pauls. I'm here along with my co-hosts, Nick Theories, Mikey P, and Philly Phil. He's actually not with us tonight because he's away on work, but we're still going to rock out because our backup tech director, Mikey P, is on the sticks. Mikey,
yeah, you just did that on a blank screen right there. Thanks to your boy.
That's all right. You're learning. Progress.
But we're good now. They can see your beautiful face, all right? That's all that matters.
Yours too. Look at that beautiful beard lined up. What a beautiful man.
There it is. There it is. We got confirmation.
What's going on here?
So, how's everybody doing?
I'm hanging in, brother. How about yourself?
It's playoff time, man. It's the playoffs?
Yeah, tonight should be rather interesting.
All right, well, I'm gonna take it from here. Are we good? We ready to go? Everybody good?
Yeah, I'm ready, man. I'm ready to talk some shit.
I was born ready.
You know the drill, guys. So, Psychotic and Iconic Sports Podcast is brought to you by Prize Picks, your home for daily fantasy sports. New users who sign up for Prize Picks today using the promo code ICONIC will receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100. That is promo code ICONIC. Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy. Also, we're live on propshq.com tonight, the Props Network. Be sure to subscribe to our show there to keep up with the latest P&I news, our episodes, and live streams, okay? Next week, guys, you know it's the playoffs, so our Monday show, since the Rams-Cardinals game is on Monday night, we're moving our Monday show to Tuesday. So next week, Tuesday, Thursday, 8 p.m., you know where to find us, all right? Every platform, pretty much, all right? Tonight's show, though, you know the drill. Wild card round. NFL's been fucking wild this season, all right? Let's get right into it. Here we go.
Do it, boys.
You hear that shit?
You ready?
Born.
You want it?
I stay ready so I don't have to get ready.
I like that.
I'm a freak.
Very, very motivating.
How was that?
Calls.
Nick, how'd that sound in the studio? You hear that? You hear the football in there?
It didn't come through my earphones. It came through the headphones. I heard it. It was good though. I was rocking out to it.
There
We're practicing.
Yo.
Yeah.
But before, guys, I actually have a surprise little topic here because this news happened today, okay? Before we get into the actual games, David Culley was fired by the Houston Texans. Okay? Fired today. He went 4-13 in his only season as the Houston Texans head coach. So this is going to be a facts or caps segment right here. All right? You ready for this? David Culley getting fired by the Houston Texans was the right move for the franchise. Facts or caps? Paul's take it away.
I think that's cat. Honestly, I don't know. I thought he did an all right job, considering the circumstances. No Deshaun Watson, none of that. I mean, I know he went 4-13, but what was the point of firing him? I don't get it. And Davis Mills was playing well to end the year. So I just didn't understand that. That felt like a panic move to me. Unless, the whole Brian Flores is going to convince Deshaun Watson to stay. That could be the only angle I thought of. But I don't know. I didn't like the move, to be honest.
Nick Theories.
Consistent. It's very consistent. If Joe Judge got fired for the same exact reasons, then yeah, he should be gone too.
They're not for the same reasons.
Why? Because he didn't have Deshaun Watson. He didn't have a quarterback.
Yeah, and he had, and he didn't
sounds like Joe Judge, huh?
He didn't run. No, because David Culley was running.
That sounds like Joe Judge to me.
No.
More than a season.
Joe Judge made it 2 seasons. In one of his seasons, he ran a quarterback sneak on 3rd and 9 from his own 20.
Full of injuries. What did you want that man to do? So yeah, the guy went 4-13. So yeah, he should be fired. 13. What do you want? What do you want me to say up here? You want me to say, oh yeah, he should stay like 4-13? Like I see a bright future with no quarterback. I mean, if we're gonna hold Joe Judge to the same standard, we got to hold other people to the same standard too.
No, it's
why not? It's the same thing. It's the
two
same
different
thing.
scenarios.
They don't have a quarterback. None of them have a quarterback.
So let me tell you what I think, guys. I think
don't get it.
major. This team, we went into the season thinking this team might not even win a game. Okay, no Deshaun Watson, and they got rid of everybody. This is the worst roster in football, unquestionably, like historically bad. And not only did they they won 4 games, which I can't even believe. B, they were competing in just about every game this year. Okay, I mean, yeah, did they get blown out a handful of times? Sure, but David Culley had these guys playing hard till the very end. They played for this guy. They responded, and not for nothing, Texans fans were ripping the move. That should tell you enough right there.
It's a panic move. That's all it was. I mean, David Culley wasn't running a clown show.
It's just crazy to me because, like...
But what did he accomplish to keep his job? What was different between him and Joe Judge? What was different? If somebody tell me what was different?
He at least had a signature win.
He had
Joe
no
Judge never had one of that.
expectations. Joe Judge had to take this team to the playoffs. That was the expectation when you hire a coach for the football giants.
No, signature wins happen in the playoffs. They don't happen in the regular season when you go 4-13. Just because you have like one good win out of the 4, that doesn't make you like credible coach here.
That's
my opinion.
Judge inherited a franchise where he's expected to make the playoffs and compete. They had a competitive roster.
Yeah, the dude wanted to say
to do anything.
Dude,
Joe Judge wanted to say in hiring the next GM. The man who ran a quarterback sneak on 3rd and 9 on his own 20 wanted to say in hiring the next GM of the Giants.
When he was on his own 5-yard line.
That's why it's crazy.
Here's the thing, though. I don't want this to turn into a Joe Judge conversation again because he had his run on this show. I'm just trying to figure out how.
Ron, if we're gonna have conversations like this where we're gonna compare coaches being fired with having the same pretty much overall record and kind of the same circumstance, minus the Deshaun Watson distractions, it's still the same thing. They both don't have a quarterback.
Well, here.
What the fuck do you want them to do?
Davis Mills was playing well at the end of the year.
And that's the other thing is, yeah, Davis Mills looked like he could actually possibly be a back-end starter in the league, if not a great backup. And he's hitched to this head coach. The head coach got it out of him. The head coach did this. The head coach had them playing hard. It's just hard to believe. So they scapegoated this guy. They never wanted him to begin with. He was probably the only guy that would have taken the job. And this is what happened. So they want to bring in their own guy. You see Brian Flores on the market. He's got ties with Nick Caserio. And apparently they're going to interview Jared Mayo, Patriots linebacker coach, former Patriot, another guy who's got ties to Nick Caserio. So it just sounds like this is a forecasted move before they even hired David Culley. But he surpassed expectations, so it's kind of hard to believe that they didn't give him another shot when they actually have a roster. This team played hard. Like Joe Judge's team literally laid down and died when they faced the first tiny bit of adversity. They laid down and died.
Mike, just like we said about the Dolphins firing Flores, bad organizations do bad things.
This is classic. Classic.
Yeah.
That is the first
when
time.
they beat the Eagles.
That was the last time they played with any heart.
When they played the Eagles. I'm just asking.
I mean, that's irrelevant to the conversation, but
that was probably the last time.
I mean, they obviously played for him. That's it, dude. I mean, let's just call it what it was. You know what I mean? Like they just weren't. They weren't there, bro. They don't have. They had injuries. They had no players. That's my thing. But whatever. I don't even care about that shit anymore. Fuck them.
About time. I'm waiting.
All right, but now we got to get in. Now we got to get into the juicy stuff here, the real shit, the actual playoffs.
About it.
This matters now, okay? Wild card football. Hold on, let me hit you with something here. Hold on, I got you. Got NFL primetime in the background. You might not hear it on your end, but the audience hears it. This is the good shit. All right. game previews coming your way. We're going to be breaking down just about everything to do with these playoff games. We're going to make our picks as usual. All right, money line against the spread. You know it. First things first, though. We have our long-awaited standings update from our picks, okay? So this is like our regular season records. Pauls is leading on money line. Still, 7-game lead. Okay. Oh, hold on 1 sec. 7-game lead for Pauls on money line. Spread, though, where it was interesting, where it was tied up just about everywhere, okay? Nick and Pauls finished in a tie for the season with Mikey P. We literally kept the same records that we had going into the week. And now, I mean, we're not done yet. So look, regular season, but this is where it gets interesting here. So your records carry on here, all right?
Carry the hell on.
So it's not done yet. We're not going to have a tie. I hope not, at least. We're not going to finish with a tie, all right? So that's how we're going to lead off. We got the first game, though. Your Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders. Okay? Coming off the emotional victory in overtime against the Chargers. The Raiders at the Bengals. Bengals minus 5.5. This game's 4:30 p.m. on NBC. This is the first game of Wild Card Weekend. All right, let's break this shit down, guys. What are you thinking of this game? Like, give me your take. Give me an X factor if you want. What is it for you? What is this game? What's going to happen? And we'll make our picks after each game. Okay, we're going to make our picks at the end of each breakdown. And I'll let you know when it's time to do that, of course.
I really like, I think the X factor in this game is going to be Joe Mixon. If they can control the line of scrimmage, I mean, the Raiders can be had on defense. Their defense is pretty porous against the run, so they can be had. Joe Mixon's had a great year. And you have two monster wide receivers on the outside, and T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. So, you know, the Raiders aren't going to be able to stack the box, so they're going to be able to respect the pass. And you know, if you can get 5-6 yards of carry on first down, you know, then you're at 2nd and 4 as opposed to, you know, a 2nd and 9, and that changes the whole game. So I look for the Bengals to run the football, control the clock, and really probably, you know, overall just take control of the game.
Damn, you think the Raiders even have a shot in this thing?
A shot, but overcoming an emotional win, like they did, while out of you, and then they got to travel across the country, and it's a Saturday game. I think it's a Bengals spot for me.
Got you, Pauls. How about you? Where are you at with the game?
I don't know which way I'm leaning. This is like one of the one of the hardest games for me to pick of the slate this weekend. I think the X factor really is Joe Burrow. How does he play in his first playoff game? You know, they're coming off the big win at Kansas City. They had a week off. You know, are they able to stay focused, you know, throughout their little break? I think actually, opposite of Nick, I think this is a spot for the Raiders.
Wow.
Because to me, they had to play lights out against Indianapolis. They had to play lights out against the Chargers. And I feel like they're rolling right now. And, you know, momentum is, when you're going into the playoffs, you want momentum like that. You want to be on little win streaks where your team's feeling good, you're feeling good about each other, everybody's together. So I really like the Raiders in this game.
Damn.
But like I said, to me, the X factor is Burrow. If Burrow comes out and does what he's capable of doing, you know, when he has those games where he doesn't, you know, make a costly turnover or something like that, you know, it could go either way. But right now, I'm really leaning Raiders.
Well, there's two ways to go about this game, I feel like, okay?
He plays.
The Bengals have been well rested. Burrow, Mixon, pretty much majority of their starters, well rested, okay? But then you got the Raiders who, like you said, they got the momentum. They're still playing. They basically been playing playoff football for the last month. Every single game mattered. They had to basically win out. But on the other hand, the Raiders coming off of the game was on Sunday night. This week's game is on Saturday. Okay, they went to overtime. I worry that they didn't get enough rest, and then they have the part where they're coming off the emotional victory. I mean, I know it's playoff ball; it's a little bit different. So Paul's theory with the emotional ups and downs might not hold true in this one because it's a playoff game. But for me, I just think the Bengals are a more talented roster, and I really the X factor for me, I think, is going to be the Raiders' defensive line. I'm going to go a little deeper here. The Raiders' defensive line is my X factor. Pulse, major, okay? The defensive line, if they don't hit home, if they can't get pressure on Joe Burrow, I think he's going to dice them up. And, I mean, I can't foresee the Raiders having too much of an issue scoring, but for me, I just think the Bengals are better.
Mike, real fast, because Tom mentioned this, and I forgot to mention it too. Shout out Tom in the comments. Do you think Darren Waller is going to have any say in that? Because he torched the Bengals last time they played.
I mean, here's the other thing. Well, that's another way to look at it. So, I mean, the Bengals smoked the Raiders 32-13 when they played this season.
Yeah, and that's the stuff I hate.
Waller had a game, but, I mean, can we attribute it to garbage time or having to throw a lot? I mean, they got absolutely smoked. So, I can see Waller having a bigger role in this game than last.
Yeah. And when a team gets smoked like that, it's hard to beat a team twice, especially when you smoke them like that because they remember that shit.
I mean, that game was in Vegas too, so this one's in Cincinnati. So there's a bunch of curveballs. This game's throwing us curveballs. These are two underdog teams who's
boys.
What?
Think it.
What?
It.
Oh, don't overthink it.
Yeah, I'm thinking Bengals. And you know what?
Boys.
Nick, you keep cutting out a little bit. I don't know what's going on.
Take your phones out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. You were cutting out the whole first sentence. That's why I couldn't hear you.
I said don't. All right, so I said don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Seriously, I
control your emotions.
Kind of game. What?
Control your emotions.
No emotions here. I don't have any emotions attached to this game. I don't give a fuck.
Oh no, I'm agreeing with you.
Oh.
I'm speaking with you.
I feel like if I was to take the Bengals, for me, that would be overthinking. Because, I find myself having to talk myself into taking the Bengals. To me, just right off the... What's up?
They're home.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, to me, the Raiders jump off the chart.
I feel like taking the Raiders would be overthinking. I think taking the Bengals is more of the, they're home. You're taking the home aspect of it.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm leaning. I'm leaning towards the home aspect.
Yeah.
I think that matters.
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, without a doubt, it matters. It's tough, man. The game really could go either way. Right now I'm on Derek Carr's side. I think the Raiders are I really do think the Raiders are going to win.
Well, here, let's not wait any longer. Let's get into our picks, all right? It's the Raiders at Bengals. Bengals -5.5. Pulse, who you got?
I got the Raiders winning outright.
Wow. Is it even going to be close, Mike?
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy like that. But I could see the Raiders, winning 28-27, 24-21, something like that. I think 5.5 is a crazy spread. You have a rookie head coach and quarterback for a playoff game.
Damn, the magic continues for the Vegas Raiders and Rich Bisaccia. That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, he's a rookie. He's a rookie head coach too. He only has a couple of games under his belt.
Yeah, but he's a 5-point underdog. I'm not saying if he was a 5-point favorite, I would be saying the same thing too. That's a lot of points in a playoff game.
It is a lot of points.
And the Raiders are getting their best player back.
Is he?
Damn. What are you thinking, Nick Theories? Who you got?
I'm not overthinking this one, boys. I'm taking the Bengals, and I'm taking them I'm just completely outright. I think they're going to win by a touchdown. I think they'll win by at least a touchdown. They're home. Joe Burrow didn't play last week, which can kind of be like a bad thing because he was rolling. But he plays with so much confidence, swagger. He's home. They've been playing good all year. They have two monsters on the outside. They have Joe Mixon. I just think they're going to roll, and I think their defense has been playing well, pretty much all year. And I think they're going to win. They're going to come out and make a statement, and I think they beat the Raiders.
Awesome.
You know what? I gotta agree with you, Nick. I gotta agree. I got the Bengals both ways. Okay. I just feel like the Bengals are going to be able to establish the run. I think it'll start out as a close game, but it's going to be one where like the Bengals put a stamp on it in the fourth quarter. It'll be a tight game because the Raiders have fought every single game.
I like it's tight.
What'd you say? No, I did ask, didn't hear him. All I heard was something was tight, and I knew something.
Keep it moving.
Crazy. What?
Pause.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
What was tight?
It.
Oh.
Oh my god. All right, we're moving on to the next one. This is also Saturday afternoon. Well, this is Saturday night, okay? We got an AFC East showdown, round 3, okay? Patriots at Bills, part 3, okay? The Bills are -4 favorites at home. The game is 8:15 on CBS. My God, guys, this is going to be a crazy one, I feel like. I mean, you don't really know what to expect. It's just going to be another AFC East showdown, and it'll probably be a nail-biter. But I want to hear what you guys think of this one. I'm going to start with Nick Theories here first. All right? We got a Bills backer in here. We got a Patriots backer. So I want to hear each of your sides. This is going to be interesting.
I got to be honest, man. I thought about this game as soon as I learned these two teams are playing. And my heart is telling me to take the Patriots. But my mind is telling me, don't be stupid. Don't be dumb. Don't fall into the mystique factor of the Belichick and the playoffs shit.
Keep your head.
Bills are home. Bills are
Don't
home.
lose it, see.
You're hearing the whispers?
It's just, Brady ain't walking through that. He ain't walking through that locker room. That's just the bottom line. He's not saving the Patriots. So I'm taking the Bills. Wow. And I'm taking them both ways.
Wow. You're already giving us our pick, huh?
Yeah.
That's all right.
I mean, fuck it. If we're gonna take it there, that's where I'm gonna take it, yo. So
Pause.
I got the Bills, and I think the Patriots, they're gonna run the football. They're gonna try to run the football and try to establish the run. But I think the Bills are gonna play a little bit better on defense. I think they know the Patriots' strength at this point in the season. It's going to be cold as shit. It's going to be 0 degrees, apparently. Winds up to 10 to 15 miles an hour. Josh Allen was saying that, like, his feet get, like, numb in cold temperature games. So that could be a factor. And
toes curl?
What's that?
His toes curl.
Yeah. And, what's funny about the Bills, too, is that Devin Singletary's been balling out the last couple of weeks to end the season. So, I look for him to have a nice day against the Patriots. I just think Buffalo's a little bit more talented, and they have a better quarterback at this moment. So I'll take Buffalo.
Wow. So the Patriots back are all year going Bills. This is interesting because now we got to hear what Paul says. All right, Paul, what are you thinking?
I've been on the Bills. Obviously I have them in the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs. But my thing with the Bills is I didn't like the comment when I read about Josh Allen with his feet. And that weather's got me screwed up. But I'm still taking the Bills. I'm taking the Bills -4 too because they're better. I don't think that the Patriots will be able to score enough with Mac. And that's just where I am. It's just that weather is going to be brutal. So it wouldn't even shock me if the Patriots wound up winning that game. I hope they don't, but I still the Bills game.
Here's the thing for me, guys, because you kind of swing both ways here. You think, all right.
No, I don't.
Yeah, never that. You might.
Just to make that clear.
That was purposeful, by the way. I definitely did that on purpose. Now, the Bills, the more talented team, definitely. They definitely missed Tre'Davious White, which would have been an area that you could attack. However, the Patriots' pass game, it's up and down. It's suspect. My concern is that they won't be able to score enough. But then it comes back the other way when the weather's going to be below freezing. The last time we saw this, okay, this is the first Patriots-Bills game. The Patriots ran all over them. They dictated the whole game with the run game. They threw 3 passes. All right, I don't think it's going to be like that this time around, but it kind of feels like the momentum is going the Patriots' direction. But I will say one thing, and this is kind of, tag along with Nick, all right? If the Bills didn't establish the run the last month, I'd be deeply concerned for them. I actually think that they're ready for this. They're at home. The stats, by the way, the Bills in freezing weather, they're not pretty. Josh Allen in cold weather, it's not pretty. Now, I'm not going to read them off to you, but it's a little concerning. I'm going Bills both ways, though. Okay, I just think that they're superior, and I think that if it wasn't freezing, I'd be thinking this could be like one where the Bills they score and the Patriots can't keep up. So I think it'll at least be close given the cold weather, but I still think the Bills pull out over a touchdown here.
I'll pull out.
Hey.
So then,
That's
now,
great.
all right. This is,
I'm being myself.
Everybody knows we're shot.
I salute that, Paul. I salute energy. I salute, bro. I've been saying this since day one. Just be yourself. If you
Everybody already knows we're shot here. Nothing's changed. We gotta stay on brand. We're shot out. So
we're fucked up. That's what we totally are.
Yeah.
So, anyway, though, now we move on to Sunday, and this is the fun slate here. This is where things could get interesting. And I have to start off. This is the one where we probably want to talk about it the most, but I have to start it off because it is the first game of the day. Sunday afternoon, you got Eagles at Bucks. All right, the defending champs. All right, the Bucks are -8.5 at home against the Birds. Let me know your thoughts, and I'm gonna start with Nick here. Okay.
So 8.5 is a lot of points.
Give me your take on the game first before we do pick. We'll hold pick till the end.
So obviously the Bucks they're highly favored, and not many people are really giving the Eagles a realistic chance. But I think for the Eagles to win the football game, they have to establish the run. They have to control the clock, and they have to just completely keep away from Brady. And when they're on defense, they got to get off the field on third downs, because Tom Brady on third down this year has been lights out. So they have to get off the field, and they have to run the football. And honestly, that's really the recipe. And what concerns me about the Eagles' offense is their ability to pass and to exploit the Bucks' actual weakness, which is their secondary. Like, can Jalen Hurts actually pick them apart? Is he that developed as a passer yet to really pick them apart yet? Is that where he is in his career yet? And we're going to find out on Sunday, because I can tell you this, that the Bucks know the Eagles want to run the football. They've been they're second highest all year in rushing yards per game. So I think they know their identity at this point. And so it's really going to come down to Jalen Hurts and see, if he can hit the open man. And, with Shaq Barrett, I think he's playing. I think Shaq Barrett is playing. I think JP.
Leonard Fournette back?
What's that?
Is Lenny back?
Lenny's back. I think JPP might be back as well. But if they are, Jalen Hurts is going to have to get the ball out quick, and he's going to have to make very fast decisions and be effective with the football in the air, for the Eagles to actually win the game. But, I still think the Bucks are going to win, but I think it's going to be a close game.
And they already said Ronald Jones and Cyril Grayson are both doubtful to play. So that's interesting. But Levante David should be back too. That's major. That is major. That's another guy who can pretty much do everything. He can rush the passer. He can drop back in coverage. He's going to stop the run. I mean, this is a top 5 linebacker in the league for years. So, and then Todd Bowles is going to devise a crazy-ass game plan as he did last playoffs. You saw he just unleashed. He fucking went wild last playoffs. And that was that really was a turning point for the team. So I want to see if they can get it all dialed up in this first game. But, Pauls, I'm going to pass it off to you. What are you thinking here? And if you want, you can give me an X factor. Yeah. The floor is yours.
All right. I think this is the game that people are overthinking. I think the Bucs are going to win. I think the Eagles could keep it close. However, an interesting stat that I read was 2 out of the last 3 times that the number 1 rushing offense met the number 1 rushing offense met the number 1 passing offense. 2 out of 3, the rushing team won. So I thought that was an interesting stat because Eagles are the number 1 rushing team, Bucs are the number 1 passing team. But, I mean, you have Bruce Arians, Todd Bowles, Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Gronk. You just have a load of experience for a first-year coach, a first-year quarterback, really. I think they're outmatched in coaching. I think that's what the X factor is to me. It's just going to come down to coaching. I don't think Nick Sirianni can outcoach Bruce Arians yet or Todd Bowles. And I just think they're a young team, and it's, if they were playing like the Rams or something with how the Rams been playing, I would be more inclined to pick them. But I can't, if I'm going to pick against Tom Brady, it's not going to be with the Eagles right now.
Not just yet, huh?
Not just yet. But, I mean, look, I know anything could happen, and these are one of those stupid teams that Tom Brady would lose to. See the Giants and the 2017 Eagles and almost the football team last year. So these are one of those games where he could have one of those weird letdowns, but I don't see it happen. I just don't see it.
It's an interesting one because this is another game where they played already this season. All right, and the Bucs were pretty much in control the entire game, but it got interesting at the end. I mean, the Bucs. This is something the Bucs have done all year, where for some reason they let up a little bit in the second halves, where in the past, obviously, last year especially, they usually put their foot on the pedal, and and the Bucs have been kind of a weird team this year. They've had some weird swings where, like, they play down to an inferior opponent because the Eagles are inferior. The Eagles are a good team, but this is a team they should beat. They should beat this team. I expect them to really give Jalen Hurts a hard time here. This is one where we do want to see, though, like, can Jalen Hurts play more out of the pocket? Can he deliver the ball downfield? As Nick said, with the secondary still roughed up. And, I mean, that's the matchup to exploit. Dallas Goedert's been rolling. Devontae Smith had a great rookie season. So that's hypothetically, that's where you should go. But they also need to remain true to themselves. Like, last time they played, they were not a running football team. They are now, and that's the way the Eagles win games. They need to minimize Jalen Hurts to that degree so that he can thrive in play action, and then the downfield stuff should open up. The Bucs also, I got to point out, like, they typically stout run defense. I mean, last year you couldn't get anything on them, but this year they've showed, time to time that they can be beat a little bit on the run, and it's really going to come down to the trenches. Can the Eagles open up holes, against that Bucs defensive line? Because, I mean, you got Vita Vea, who's one of the most unsung players in the entire NFL, and he just got paid.
He's an animal.
Monster.
I mean,
Big
they're
time.
loaded. And the Eagles' offensive line has been outstanding. So, really, like, I want to see if the Bucs can hit home. I think the X factor here again is going to probably be the Bucs pass rush for me, because if they can pressure Jalen Hurts, they're going to have their way in this game. I mean, obviously Tom Brady's going to put up points. I'm not concerned about that at all. And it's also the other side of the ball. Can the Eagles get? The last time the Eagles beat Tom Brady, it was with the pass rush. can the front four hit home? Because the Eagles aren't going to blitz a lot. The Eagles typically just send their front four, and that's it. So are they going to get home? So it's interesting. Watch the battles in the trenches, but I can't go against Tom Brady here either. The Eagles might make it interesting, and it is a big line. So, and the Eagles have been better on the road than at home this year. So, not for nothing though, the Bucs, phenomenal home team.
Palante.
Yeah.
Or Mikey P. Interesting. Last time Antonio Brown played and Chris Godwin played, they're fully healthy. And Darius Slay held Mike Evans to 2 catches for 27 yards.
And you know what? I can see it happen again, Pauls. But the thing is that's not the matchup that would worry me the most.
No. It's not that I was saying that it would worry me. That's the matchup that I'm saying. If he could hold Mike Evans to 27 yards in the game on Sunday, the Eagles are going to have a more increased shot to win. Because he doesn't have Godwin and Antonio Brown anymore.
I agree. No, I mean,
Gronk, because the Eagles are the worst.
He's going to eat us alive.
That's what I was just going to say, Nick. That's the matchup to be concerned about. And you got to wonder, are they going to put Steven Nelson on him? Would they consider putting Darius Slay on him? I don't think so. I think Slay's going to be on Mike Evans. And probably
trash, too.
Sorry?
Windy and rainy, I think, is the weather forecast, too. Which, in my opinion, would benefit the Eagles due to the number one rushing attack. But Brady will find a way.
Yeah, I mean, this is tough, guys. It's Tom Brady. It's a defending champs. The Eagles are probably here a year early, but we're going to learn a lot about Jalen Hurts here. We're going to learn a lot, and I think this game could dictate his future with the team. I know it's did he earn a chance to start again for this team? Sure, but the Eagles front office, you know how they are. You already know that they've been sniffing around QB upgrades. So this game right here, playoff football against the defending champs, this is one where this could dictate his future in Philly, because you know how the Eagles front office thinks. If he actually plays well in this game and shows he can throw the football in a playoff game, it's going to go a long way towards their confidence in him.
Well, I think win or lose for the Eagles, it's a blessing because you're able to see what you actually have in Jalen Hurts. You're able to actually evaluate him in under severe pressure situations. And the playoffs, it doesn't get any higher than that. So
Tom Brady?
Right.
It's the best test that you could have asked for.
Yeah.
It's the best test.
The Eagles are to me, they're in a win-win situation. You see what you have, and if you win, great. Then then you can evaluate them even further. Because
they got
go in the playoffs, the pressure gets higher and higher and higher and higher. So, you're able to evaluate him in certain situations that you aren't able to if you don't get to that point. So, for me, it's a win-win for the Eagles.
Completely agree, and honestly, I feel like there is no pressure on the Eagles. They've already exceeded expectations. They got a rookie head coach and basically a rookie starting quarterback, and they had an excellent second half. So I feel like there's more pressure on the Bucs, if not all pressure, because they got a repeat. That's hard to do. They're playing the team a second time, okay, and it's a team that's completely different this time around. So they might have to change things up a little bit. And then you got quite simply the Bucs offense just kind of it's been up and down. I'm not worried about Tom Brady one bit in the playoffs, but this offense has been up and down in the second half of the season, and you lost Antonio Brown. Grayson's out likely, which again, I mean, this is a counterpart here. I'm sure they'll replace him pretty easily, but I'm just saying you're down another guy who's been playing for you, who was expected to step into that role. So, it's going to come down to Tom Brady being Tom Brady. I feel like he's going to deliver. That's just how it is. Let's make our picks. We got Eagles at Bucs. Bucs -8.5. Nick, what you got?
I got the Bucs winning the football game, and give me the Eagles with the 8.5.
Pause.
Nick, I agree.
Same.
I got the Bucs win, and I got the Birds on the spread. Pauls, what about you?
I got the Eagles and the Bucs.
So same thing. So all three of us are in agreement here. Do you think it'll actually wind up being like do you think it'll be a close game the whole time, or do you think it's like a backdoor cover like the last game?
I think
close for like the first half, and then I think the third quarter the Bucks are going to get away a little bit. They're going to get like a 10-point lead, and then they're going to sputter out. Then they're going to kick a field goal, be up 13. The Eagles are going to score a touchdown, and then the Eagles will lose by like 6.
So basically, touchdown.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see it. This is going to be a good one, though, guys. All right. So next up, and this could be the most interesting one of the entire slate here. I'm curious to see what you guys think of this. You got 49ers at the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas favored by 3 points. This game is 4:30 p.m. on CBS. All right. What are you thinking here? This is another one. This is a really interesting one here.
I hate this game, dude. It's hard because Dallas scores 35 points a game. I feel like Dallas is the better team. I feel like they have the better offense. I do feel like they have the better coach too, if I'm being all the way real. But that 3-point spread is like, I feel like Dallas should be more than that. To be honest, I really do. That line is telling me that the 49ers are the bet. That they think the 49ers are going to win that game. Because it doesn't make any sense. They went 12-5. The Cowboys went 12-5. They have, their offense is, they could put up 50 against anybody. I know it was the Eagles' backups, but they did that. They put up 28 against the Buccaneers week 1. They demolished the Falcons, or the Saints. I forget who it was, but that game line is that line's shady. That's all I'm saying. That line is so shady. I hate that game. Because I want to pick Dallas because I like Dak Prescott, but I don't know about that.
Nick, theories?
Yeah, I'm on the same wavelength as Paulus, to be honest with you. The 3 throws me off. It's screaming Niners. Like for me, it's a Niners line. And I'll be honest with you, I actually think the Niners are like a really, really good football team. I think they had a really shitty, slow start. But I think they found their identity. They run the football. They play good defense. And, they've won 4 out of the last 5. They lost to the Titans by 3, in Tennessee. And they're the number 1 seed in the AFC. So that's not like, a big deal if they lost to a team like that. On the road, only losing by 3. That could have possibly gave them some weird momentum heading into the last couple weeks of the season because they blew out the Texans. We just talked about David Culley earlier in the show, and he's been coaching really well for him, but they got blown out 23-7, and then they played the Rams last week, and they won 27-24. So this team. They're not scared of anybody. They'll go in your building. They'll run the football. They'll punch you right in the mouth. They'll play good defense, and they'll let the chips fall where they may. So I actually I like Dallas in this game, but I'm not fully sold, man. This is the hardest game.
Yeah, real fast. I just want to add. And coming off my theory, too, the way that I watch games and bet with emotion and stuff like that, I don't like that they hung 50 on the Eagles.
Well, I think Jimmy G gets a boost, though, on his offensive line. He gets Trent Williams back, which is major. Major. That's huge. Like, when you're going against when you're going against the Cowboys pass rush, they get after the quarterback.
Yeah.
The fact that you get him back is just so major for that offense that, I don't know. Well, I'm not gonna make my pick yet. We'll wait until down. But
yeah, you guys sound pretty nervous earlier, and I you know what?
I gotta be honest, bro. Like I this game was probably the hardest game next to the Patriots game to really break down. Like I just it's to me it's a coin flip. Flip a coin. Heads is Niners, tails is Cowboys. So.
I'm gonna add to the nervousness. Okay. it's actually pretty simple for me. The 49ers have been playing damn good football. It hasn't mattered who they played. They have been excellent. I mean, they beat the Rams twice this year. And, most recently, the overtime game last week was impressive. They went down in a hole, and they still pulled that shit off. Backs against the wall, on the road, playoff spot on the line. If they lost, they wouldn't be in. That's with Jimmy G injured, who you guys already, we talked about him at length on this show. I thought I just don't think he's great. I've been calling him trash, but he has been playing pretty well. The run game with Elijah Mitchell is scary. This 49er team always generally can run the football, but when Elijah Mitchell's in the lineup, he's not really getting talked about much. This is a undrafted rookie. This guy is an absolute stud. He's a dynamic player. He changes the whole offense. You still got George Kittle, okay, and he hasn't even been asked to do much the last couple weeks. This is prior to, this is after he had a monster run for like a month. He hasn't even been asked to do much. Brandon Ayuk is Brandon Ayuk again. He looks like the guy that we saw last year, a dynamic playmaker who can do it all, and he's a vertical threat. And then you got Deebo Samuel, who's the Swiss Army knife. And every single week this guy shows up. Every single week. It doesn't matter if he's running the football. It doesn't matter if he's catching it. Shit, he's even thrown the football a few times. The guy does everything. The defense is playing well. It's for me, it's just like one team is heading in, they're trending up major. And they have been, okay? They started off the season slow, but they've been trending up. And then the other side of it, the Cowboys are like, they're kind of like fooling me a little bit. Because in one breath, I want to say they're different this year. There's been times where they've looked different too. Earlier in the season, they were turning heads a little bit, but I have to look at the second half of the season here. Tell me the last time this team beat anyone good, okay? Let me go through it for you. The last time they beat a good team. 2, 3, 4.
The Patriots.
This is week 6 against the Patriots. That's the last good. I know that they have to play their schedule, but every time that they played a good team after week 6 when they beat the Pats, they lost to the Chiefs. They lost to the Raiders on Thanksgiving. They lost to the Cardinals. And other than that, like, when have they been tested? They beat the Saints by 10. The Saints with literally nobody at quarterback. They beat the Washington football team, who their season was over. They hung 56 on them most recently. They hang 51 on the Eagles' third stringers, essentially. And we're sitting here listening to the national pundits talk about this team like they did something special. They're actually not even mentioning the Eagles starters didn't even play in the game. They're sitting here acting like this team.
But in Dallas's defense, what are they supposed to do besides play their schedule? I understand about their wins, but what do you want them to do?
They haven't done anything convincing, and honestly,
well, they play who's on their schedule. they're still scoring 50-something points.
But this is the thing, though. The thing is like the offense has been sputtering, and we're talking about the offense hanging 50, but they did it against third stringers. The offense has been in a rut for a long time now. They've not been the same team that they were in the first half. If they were the team that they were in the first half, I'd be saying, look out, this team's got a shot to make a run. Right now, I think they're on upset alert right now, and that is absolutely a 49ers line. Absolutely.
I agree. But
absolutely.
They scored 50 or more in the last 2 or 3 games.
And were you really impressed? Because I wasn't.
Anybody that scores 50 points, I'm impressed. 50.
It looked like practice. They're playing basically. You should have just played 7-on-7. Basically, you're playing against practice squad talent, and Washington's season was over. They had nothing to play for. So, color me unimpressed. They haven't beaten anybody good recently.
Well, just because that team is in that state. Look, Washington had no business even playing with the Cowboys that night. I get it. But
they just lost that game the first time.
Was beat the Bucks. It's any given Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, just because you have less talent than another team doesn't mean, the other team can't compete and try to squeak out a win. I'm sure Washington was trying that night. They got their ass kicked straight up. Dallas just fucking beat them down. So you got to give them credit too.
It's not to say like they don't deserve credit. It's to say that what am I crediting? They haven't done anything. And when they okay, so we're talking about those two games in particular where the offense blew up in those games, but the other games. So after the Raiders showdown on Thanksgiving, and the Raiders, mind you, they don't have a great defense. They put up 33 on them and still lost. They haven't been scoring. They look like they're in a rut. The run game is broken. Tony Pollard's hurt. Zeke is playing hurt. It just doesn't look like the same team. Michael Gallup is out for the season. They don't look the same.
I mean, the last time they had under 20 was November 21st against the Chiefs.
Yeah, but this is a team that Mike said, what's their scoring average for the season, Mike? They're averaging over 30, aren't they?
33 or 34 points a game. Like, that's incredible. That's what I'm saying. Those are the teams you got to watch out for. You got to watch out for that. They can hang that on anybody. The difference is just
law of averages.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll let you know my pick in like 2 minutes.
Here, let's get right to it. Why don't we do it? All right. You got the 49ers at the Cowboys. Cowboys -3 at home. Falls, who you got?
I'm taking the upset.
You suck. I should have started this off.
I have to do because it's the way that I bet. It's the trend that I made up in my head that works for me. And check my resume if anybody's got something to say. And I'm going with the Niners. I think the Niners are going to do it. Dallas, they had the tune-up game last week against the Eagles, but 49ers are hot. They got momentum. And I think they're going to keep it rolling.
Damn.
It's probably the pick I hate the most out of the entire weekend.
The theories. That's your team all year too, Mike.
I know. This is the pick I hate the most because I'm being dead serious. I am an Eagles fan through and through. I'm rooting for the Eagles to win. But I really am a big Dak Prescott fan. I love Dak Prescott. And I wouldn't be upset if he won. I just have a feeling.
Nick Theories. Time is yours.
I probably changed my pick in my head like 50 times probably today alone. But I think the Niners are a cool story. Great. I mean, they've been playing really good football. But in Dak's 3 playoff games, he has a passer rating of 96, an average of 96 or so. So he's been balling when he's been called upon in the playoffs. So I expect him to play well again. I expect Dallas to actually win this football game. This is a game they have to win. I mean, they're so invested. It's Super Bowl or bust for them. They have a lot of pressure on them. But I think they rise to the challenge because there is something different about this Cowboys team this year. They play with a lot of grit. Based on what their rookie selection and Micah Parsons, he's been awesome for that team. He's changed that defense. They get after the quarterback, and they got Jimmy G with a banged up thumb. I get Dak healthy at home. I'm taking Dallas, and I'll take a push.
Wow.
Oh.
I
think wins by 3.
Wow. So it's going to be a close one.
Yeah. It's gonna be.
I will tell you though.
I just think
back
over. Like I think CeeDee Lamb's gonna have a nice day. He's been quiet, so I think this is his game.
And Nick, I love what you said about oh my God, my thought just went out of my head.
Dak versus Jimmy?
No, he was just talking about it. Yeah, I know, Tom Sauer. I know it's coming. Leave me alone. Oh my God, I can't think of what I was just gonna say, dude. This is really big for the Cowboys as a franchise. They can't go one and done. Like, if they go one and done, it's gonna be really bad. It's for real. Like especially with this team now, you can't do that. You can't be one and done.
And listen, the national narrative, guys, they've been pushing this team as a possible Super Bowl team all year. Now, the people that I hear actually breaking down football to a T, more like the NFL networks versus the ESPNs, the guys who know football know that there's been a drop-off in the second half from this team. They've been winning, but there's been a drop-off in quality from this team since the first half. The first half team I liked a lot. This team, not so much. I got the 49ers both ways. I am concerned, though. Well, it is both ways. It's an outright pick. So I got them outright. I got the 49ers again. I called it last week. I'm calling it again this week. For me, it's just they're playing much better. Dallas's defense is going to be tested by that run game. And I'm concerned that this Dallas offense is in a rut. I know that the QB matchup, though, is major, and the Cowboys have the advantage there. But I want to see Dak step up in the big moment. And like Mike said, this dictates their whole future, essentially.
He has, though. If you look at his last 3 playoff games, he's had a 96 passer rating. It's
confusing because he has performed well in those games, but in other big games, regular season, etc., it's been largely up and down.
But Dallas lost in the postseason due to their defense. Now that their defense is a little bit better with Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence playing awesome football, Randy Gregory playing them. I mean, their defense is different. Like, they're different than they have been in years past. And Dak has played well. It's just their defense has really lost them a lot of postseason games, unfortunately. And, well, not a lot of postseason games because they haven't really made the postseason that much. But when they have had the opportunity to play in the postseason, I think their defense came up short. So I think this year, it's a little bit different.
And they need the defense to step up. Actually, the defense have been playing well. I'm saying they need the offense to match the defense here.
Oh, I think they will.
They actually could win them this game because Jimmy G.
I'm rooting for Dak.
He's prone to the turnover.
He's overcome so much in his life that's so relatable that I root for shit like that, man. You know what I mean? I know he's a Cowboys quarterback and stuff, but his story inspires me. So
he's a great dude. No
That's
question.
I love that, dude. That's what I'm saying. It sucks. I don't want Dallas to win the Super Bowl, and Twitter would be funny as hell for 24 hours. But I really do want Dak to win. I'm a big Dak fan.
Yeah.
I just like who he is, what he's about, what he represents, and I think he's good.
Mm-hmm.
And not for nothing, if he was the quarterback of the Eagles, every Eagles fan would love his grit. And that's so bad.
He was all over Wall Street.
Yeah, bro. We root for Gardner Minshew because he has passion.
He's a lovable player for sure.
Yeah.
But he's got a lot to prove here, and the Cowboys do too.
Yep.
So,
sure.
That being said, all right, you ready for this? Hold on. All right, guys. Little Sunday night football music for you. Sunday night game. Steelers at Chiefs. Chiefs minus 12.5.
Be careful.
Right. You're already cautioning us, huh?
Be careful.
Damn. All right, well, the game's at 8:15 on NBC. The Steelers sneak in miracle fashion. Absolute miracle down to the last minute of the regular season kind of fashion. Absolute miracle. The Steelers are in. And, that's all I'm going to say right there. What are you guys thinking? Do they have a shot here?
Yes.
They have a shot to win. I
think that I'm not putting the Chiefs on upset alert. I do think the Chiefs are going to win. But if you think Mike Tomlin isn't going to have them boys ready to play, and then after seeing Ben Roethlisberger's interview where he's like, oh, we shouldn't have been here. We stink. We're not good. Out of 14 teams, we're probably the 14th team. He knows, man. He's been here before. He's won 2 Super Bowls. So I'm taking I almost said my pick. My bad. So Nick or Mike, take it away. My bad.
You know what that sounded like, by the way? That quote bothered me that he said that. That quote.
I loved it.
It made it sound like that guy was ready to go on vacation, and he's still kind of in that mindset. He's literally acknowledging that they're not good, that we shouldn't be here.
I think that was sarcasm.
it makes it. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I didn't like it. I think that you could have went without saying it.
It don't matter. That's not motivational enough for me to. I think this is a complete mismatch. I think what you saw earlier in the season, I think you're going to see a copycat version of that. Kelsey wasn't playing at all. And I've been fucking with Pittsburgh all year. I had them in the playoffs. So, but I think their run ends here. And you know what? It's not a bad season for them. They shouldn't even been here to, according to a lot of experts. They had them.
What do you mean? You have here. You're the expert.
Well, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate your kind words. You're really
love.
You're anyway.
Give him a salute for that.
Yeah, love you.
Much love.
Look, you tripped him up a little bit there. He's almost surprised.
But it's it's a complete mismatch, man. I mean, the line says it all. For me, the line screams. It's like a sucker bet to take the 12.5 for the Steelers. It's almost like a sucker bet. It's like saying, hey, here's 12.5 and you get Pittsburgh. Like, oh yeah, of course I'll take 12.5 points in Pittsburgh.
I'll give you 12.5, man.
It's just like don't even overthink it. For me, it's like one of those games. I think Pittsburgh's had a great year, but I think their run ends.
Damn. So I'll take it from here, I guess. I can't believe they're in the playoffs still. They've been mad poopy. So, I don't think they have a chance. I really don't think they have a chance. Because the one thing that they have going for them is they got the pass rush. You got TJ Watt. But for me, it's like, all right, the Chiefs have one of the very best offensive lines in football. They're rolling right now. The defense has been rolling for a long time. I think they're going to give Pittsburgh fits. The Pittsburgh offensive line is still a heaping pile of absolute, positively garbage. Garbage offensive line. Garbage. They're still, they're going to, I feel like Frank Clark, Chris Jones, I feel like these guys are going to hit home. I think this game's going to get ugly. Like, it might be close for a quarter. It's not me ripping the Steelers, but they just don't belong. They don't belong in this game.
That's cold.
I know.
And I'm not going to say they don't have. I can't. Everybody has a chance. If you're in the playoff, bro, you got a chance.
Listen, I'm delivering that fresh hot L. Fresh hot. Out the oven. There's no fucking chance they win this game. And guess what? Now, when they do win this, it's going to be because I said that.
Yeah.
Okay? I just don't think they have a chance. The Chiefs are just playing so well. And the Chiefs have been beating everybody. Their strength of schedule was the hardest. Their strength of victory was the best. There's nothing else for me to say. The question mark was, will the offense ever get it back together? And the offense is rolling now. The offense has been rolling for weeks. I mean, I'm looking at it here. 5 straight weeks. The offense has been. They put up over 30 in 4 of them. They put up over 40 in 1 of them. They're just rolling, guys. Give me the Chiefs. Fuck it. Let's go right to the picks.
Yeah.
Give me the Chiefs both ways. Story Pittsburgh. Hell of a run though, Big Ben. I've absolutely admired his career. He's been phenomenal. He's a Hall of Famer, first ballot. But this is a new era starting Monday for them. New era. Go ahead. Who wants to go first?
I'll go next. That's fine. I'm taking the Chiefs and Pittsburgh with the points, but the Chiefs need to be nervous. Don't walk in there and take them lightly and fuck around. Otherwise, you're going to be going home. I'm dead serious. If the Chiefs think that they're just going to roll over them, sadly mistaken.
Mike, this team has showed up every week for 10 straight weeks.
I know.
You know? They just show up. They don't give a fuck who they're playing. They show up. They play hard. They're at home.
I know. I know. It's pointing to the Chiefs. It looks like it's going to be a blowout. It looks easy. Those are the games you have to worry about. Mike Tomlin's not going to have them boys slip up.
I mean, they beat him 36-10 literally 2.5 weeks ago.
I would be surprised if the Chiefs got to those amount of points again.
I wouldn't.
They're getting 30 for me. Period.
Yeah. That's the thing. like the Chiefs are probably going to score 30. It's can Pittsburgh score 30? And I just don't see it. Like I think Ben's last game is going to look really bad. Like I think he's going to go out and he's going to look trash. I hate to say because I celebrate legends. You know what I mean?
The tree.
But the Chiefs defense has been playing lights out all year. They've been an underrated unit. They've probably been the best unit on that team, most consistent all year over the offense. So the fact, I mean, and that was always the Chiefs' Achilles heel as it was. But yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to win. I think they're gonna cover the 12.5, and yeah, that's the bottom line.
All right, last but not least, guys. Hold on, we got a good one here.
Great run, Pittsburgh.
Oh, man. It's getting me pumped up, man. Oh, I just blew out the audience. Oh. My bad, audience. I probably just gave you a carpal tunnel. But anyway, so we got Cardinals at Rams, the first Monday playoff football game in the history of the league. So it's a Monday night special here. It's, let's see, the time is 8:15 p.m. You got ABC, ESPN, ESPN Plus, and it's round 3, another rematch. So, how are we feeling? How are we feeling about this one? Two teams who really aren't playing their best football right now. Let's just call it what it is. This is an interesting one. So, I'm going to I think I have to go Nick Theories here first. Unless Pauls wants to go.
I'll go. I'll be real brief. I know we're
backup answer. Go ahead, Nick.
We're over time right now. I'll be brief. I think
okay. You got a couple minutes.
The bottom line, the X factor for me is Matthew Stafford. Is he comfortable in the playoffs? He hasn't been there in a long time, and he had a lot of pressure of getting his first W. But he's playing a divisional opponent, and that scares me for him because, look, the Cardinals started off hot. If they can get back to like what they were early in the season, they should win this game. But they haven't been that team. They've lost 4 out of the last 5 games. They've looked really bad and pretty uninspiring the way to finish out the season. They lost to the Lions. They lost to Seattle last week. When if they would have won, they would have won division. So I think they're a disappointing team. They've been that way, and I think it's going to continue that way into the off season. Then they're going to have to reevaluate again. One for Mr. Kyler, the best player in the world.
Come on now.
That's dead. That's what you said.
That's a long time ago. Come on now.
That's all right.
Take it easy over there.
Hey, you say he's the best player in the world.
Come on, that is an over-exaggeration. He was the best player in the NFL for a handful of weeks.
For you, it was an over-exaggeration. For me, that was taped to record and holding my back in the back pocket.
Yeah. Revisit my words. He was playing the best football in the NFL in the first month of the season. That's okay to say. It's okay.
Yeah, but like he
ain't a spade.
But he ain't the best player in the league.
Right now, he's not.
So my thing is, I think it's a bigger game for Matt Stafford right now. Kyler's still young. It's his first playoff game. It's Cliff Kingsbury's first playoff game. This comes down to coaching again for me. I think McVay will have he has the coaching advantage over Cliff Kingsbury. And like I just said, this is their rookie debuts. Matt Stafford hasn't won one yet, but I mean now's a perfect time to do it. And I think I'm gonna say my pick again. But I'll just start. Yeah, I think Matt Stafford gets his first playoff win, and I think that they are going to cover the spread too. I think the Rams are actually going to handle them. To be honest, I do. I think the Rams get them by about 10 points.
I mean, they split on the season, so. Yeah. And they played a pretty tight game. It was a 1-touchdown game. The Cardinals definitely were not playing better in that game. That was the last time the Rams looked good, though, to be honest with you. The Rams, for me, they softened up the last 4 weeks. They they won pretty easy games the last 3 weeks. So go ahead.
It is a travesty. I was trying to add this. If Matt Stafford and the Rams lose on Monday night for that organization, they have no picks, no cap. That is a disaster. That's worse than the level for Dallas, because at least they can give up all their draft picks.
And not for nothing, Dallas didn't sell out to build a Super Bowl roster. This was a team that was not good last year.
Built, not born.
You know, I mean, it is Dallas, and everyone's always going to put that target on the back. But this right here, it's win or you're going to hear it loud. I mean, major if the Rams lose this game.
I got loud.
It's not family. It's just it's one of those things where, like, they probably should win this game. Without DeAndre Hopkins, the Cardinals have not been the same as a team. It's not a good excuse because they still have plenty of weapons there. And Kyler has not been playing overly inspiring. They look like a team that lacks an identity. It's quite simple. They don't look like the same team the first half. I mean, they did win that.
They lack identity.
I said it last week. They have no identity right now. Are they a passing football team? Are they a running football team? Are they a defensive football team? I think they're confused.
They should be. They look confused since D-Hop went down. Kyler hasn't been the same quarterback.
It's a fact. It's a fact. And guess what else, though? The other thing is the last time they had a fucking major game to win, it was against Dallas, and they handled Dallas. It wound up being a field goal game, but they showed up in that big game. And they played hard in Seattle last week. They still put up 30 last week. It wasn't their best game. But they manhandled Dallas. That was the last time. That's kind of sticking in my head. It's like, I think that this is going to be a really tight game. I'm uninspired by both teams, really. I'm uninspired.
Yeah. Pick your poison.
It's really, it comes down to, I think that the Cardinals are going to get a boost because I think J.J. Watt's going to be playing in this game. And that's the last time they were a really, really good football team. Not only was when Hopkins was playing, but you have J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones. Okay,
that's a good point.
It's a locker room boost, leadership boost. Okay, but then the pass rush for me, I think, is going to get home in this game. And that's the other thing is the Rams pass rush. I think that's the X factor for both teams. The pass rush for both of these teams. Obviously, the quarterback's an easy pick, because both of them are not playing well right now, and they both have a lot of questions to answer. But for me, both of these teams, they're going to win if the pass rush gets home. Both offensive lines are mediocre, but at least Kyler can get away from the pass rush. I'm not so sure with Stafford. You've got to look out for Cooper Kupp in this matchup, obviously. And the run game's like, I'm not so sure either team will be able to establish it. I would think that the Rams have a better shot at establishing the run in this one. So I think that we got to make our picks and close it out, guys. I think this is a tough one. It's a really tough one. Who wants to start?
I'll go. I'm taking the Rams both ways.
And it's Rams -4. Sorry. It's Rams -4 at home. Go ahead.
I'm taking the Rams. I just think the Rams, mainly Matt Stafford, just has too much on the line. And I think he's going to get his first playoff win and, get that monkey off his back.
Oh, Nick.
Gotta be honest.
You like the fucking Cardinals?
This man's been on the Rams all year.
Pause.
Yeah, pause.
And it's funny. I literally just said Kyler he's probably gonna be one and done. It's what's weird for me in this game? It's the Monday night mystique. It's the Monday night upset bullshit mystique where you wake up Tuesday morning with the headlines is Cardinals shock the world and they fucking beat the Rams. Then the Rams have a closeout press conference on ESPN.
So true,
Here comes quotes. Here comes the quotes about the Rams off season from the head coach about him being not committal to Matthew Stafford next year. I can see it already. I can see it already. And it's crazy.
I love your prediction.
I am. I haven't picked an upset this weekend. And if there's gonna this is the game. Give me the Cardinals to win, baby. Okay, I don't give a fuck, guys. Give me the fucking Cardinals.
my God, dude.
Yeah, I talked myself into it, dude. Like the Monday Night Mystique, I'm falling for it. I am. I'm falling for the headlines on Tuesday morning. I've seen it all throughout my whole years of living, watching football.
If I thought anybody was going to do that today, I thought for sure it would be Paulus. However,
oh my God,
it's actually not even a thought for me. I got the Cardinals outright.
Oh shit!
I got them outright, and I have had them outright all week. Because you want to know why? Everything I just said. J.J. Watt's coming back. I think that's huge. Everyone's forgetting. It is. It's J.J. Watt. He's like the fucking Incredible Hulk. You see this man? I mean, Jesus Christ.
I can't believe it.
Bro, it's as simple as this. It's
washed up.
It's both of these teams have not been playing well, and the last team to play an actual good game and win was the Cardinals 2 weeks ago. That's the last time, you know. And I think it's going to be a major boost with J.J. Watt back. And I just every time I see this, I see Matthew Stafford throwing 2 picks and having a hard time. I do wonder though, is Cam Akers possibly going to be a factor? I know that Sony Michel's been balling. Cam Akers probably going to be used a little bit more in this game, I think. Fresh legs, okay. You got to wonder if Chase Edmonds is healthy enough to deliver. That's another weapon for them.
Well, James Conner might not be able to play. That's a big loss for the Cardinals. It's
bad timing for him to be hurt because they need him to have a physical brand of football in the playoffs. It's really, I don't have great confidence out of these teams, but I'm just telling you right now, I can see, you know, it'll be more like the first time around than the second. It's going to be a tight game. I can't see why the Lions 4, to be honest with you. I thought this might be a field goal game the whole game, and I think the Cardinals are going to win because their QB can escape the pressure. I think both sides are going to be able to get some pressure, and I think both sides are going to be making plays, actually. I actually think this could be a higher scoring game, but I think that the Rams are going to have a couple turnovers. So, and then, by the way, if the Cardinals lose this, I would not be surprised in the slightest if Cliff Kingsbury gets fired.
No fucking shot.
I know, it's crazy because he was
here.
I know. He went from that to being...
At one point in the season, he was like, "Oh yeah, Cliff Kingsbury should be the coach."
I know, and we all had him. He was the odds-on favorite, but guess what? He has not been able to turn this operation around, and he's got a lot of questions to answer.
Well,
really. And by the way,
to be honest with you, I mean, I think Kyler Murray should have a lot of questions answered too, because if he loses, another playoff game, is
this is his first playoff game
for that hump? That you got to question it, because if you're going to put every other quarterback on the same platform, he's got to be held accountable too. If he can't get the job done, he should be questioned too.
He's going to be held to a higher standard, but let's be realistic though. The logical progression with this, the guy has developed into an MVP caliber quarterback, and now he took the next step in the progression of getting into the playoffs. They exceeded expectations. So he's going to be held to a higher standard because of the talent, but there's not going to be a question about his job or anything, or whether or not he's good. It's going to be, he got there now. Now next year, the target's going to be on his back, major, because now he got into the playoffs. And now, if he performs like he did in the second half again, then there's going to be a lot of questions to answer whether or not he can do this thing. So next year, look out. I think this year, he's not going to get passed, but Cliff Kingsbury is the one to watch. And by the way, McVay is going to hear it too if they lose this game. They literally need to be in the Super Bowl, or he's going to hear it too. He won't lose his job, but he's going to hear it. This team's going to hear it. This franchise.
Well, I think this game is major for both parties, to be honest with you.
It is. More so for the fans.
Lose, because my thing is, all right, so Kyler got them to the playoffs. Okay, cool. But Jalen Hurts got the Eagles to the playoffs. Why are the Eagles evaluating Jalen Hurts, but the Cardinals are not evaluating Kyler Murray?
No one's saying they're not, Nick. No one's saying they're not, but the thing is here is this is much more meaningful for the Rams to win. They have to win this game. Their franchise literally
Absolutely.
It's two teams in completely. It's two teams in completely different directions in their franchise. Like Kyler's going to be a fourth-year QB next year, coming off of a playoff appearance, and it's not the same. Matthew Stafford's been around forever. He has a legacy to answer to.
They were 8-1.
I know, but bro, it's not even the same. They're not even comparable situations. It's really not. It's going to be seen as a successful season for the Cardinals.
When they were 8-1, they were talking Super Bowl. And then the second half of the season, they sputtered. And then now, all of a sudden, if they get to the playoffs, that's an accomplishment. What happened to holding the Super Bowl standard? And I'm just being honest. If we're going to be real consistent with the Super Bowl talk with a team, then, making the playoffs just can't be enough.
Hey, maybe people jumped the gun. I did a little bit too. I'm just trying to be. I'm just saying. I mean, I just think you're placing a lot higher emphasis on this team than everyone else will. That's all I'm trying to say.
I mean, honestly, Mike, not to dive too much into this because we've been going on a little bit, but that's been my biggest issue is with the whole Kyler situation. When you and I have had our fun sparring sessions, I just feel like, everybody talks about him, MVP, this, that, and the third, and it's like he always flakes out at the end of the year. Like, not for nothing, I can make an argument right now that through Kyler Murray's 2 years and Jalen Hurts' 1 year, Jalen Hurts is on a better trajectory. He made the playoffs first year, and he don't have DeAndre Hopkins.
It's possible. I'm not going to argue that.
No, but
I'm not saying he's exempt of criticism. I'm just saying I think that it's without question if the Rams bust out here, that's the headline here. The Cardinals will be Kyler Murray will get his criticism, and he'll get it from me too. But I think that they already have gotten it. I think that they have gotten it, and you're going to hear it maybe a little bit louder. But next year is the year for me.
Next year, Kyler Murray is going. If he loses this game, he will be under a microscope next year.
Pivotal. I think he already will be because he's got a lot to answer to next year. Yeah, I already do.
Totally with you on next year for Kyler will be the year that he enters that ridiculous microscope criticism.
And that's the year, typically year 4 for quarterback. I mean, you got to know the answer. You got to know if this guy is your ride or die.
So for you guys, there's no chatter in the offseason about Kyler Murray at all.
No,
I'm just saying. I mean, depending on his performance. So if he has a bad game, let's say, he's going to hear it. But to a lesser extent than Matthew Stafford would, if he lost. This is a guy who's on that fine line of Hall of Fame potentially.
But my thing is this:
he's going to get criticism because he's a big name player.
But here's the thing: like, he was 8-1. They were talking about Super Bowl. I mean, I think you predicted them to go to Super Bowls too. I think at one point.
His season, I did. Absolutely. Like, different team,
like,
though.
That could have been an emotional pick. I get that.
We all did. We had the Ravens there.
They were looking great. Oh, absolutely. Like, that was an emotional pick.
It's a long season.
I get it. But, like, if they were 8-1 and ESPN was talking about Super Bowl, is this the year Kyler, really takes that step where he's claiming to be, a top 3 quarterback in this league? Is he the MVP? So they go from 8-1 being Super Bowl talk to now, okay, if they make the playoffs and lose, okay, it was still an accomplishment because they made the playoffs and nobody expected us to be there. But how do you go from Super Bowl to that? Like,
all due respect, Nick.
You gotta be accountable for your best player. I know you lost DeAndre Hopkins, but if he is that player, if he's that guy, it don't matter who the fuck you got, bro. Brady won with Hogan. He won with fucking Edelman. He won with Philip Dorsett. I mean, come on. If you're that guy, if you are that franchise cornerstone guy that you can depend on no matter what, he's winning you a playoff game.
And we're going to learn a lot here. This is going to say a lot.
Yeah.
All due respect, I didn't hear any Super Bowl chatter except for myself. I got to be honest with you. I think everybody was wondering if they're for real or not. And I think that most people thought that they were for real, and they definitely turned heads a little bit in the second half. I'm just saying, I didn't hear any Super Bowl chatter about this team. It was too early in the season, and I don't think anybody was reaching that far. I think they were too surprised that they even were undefeated at the point. I don't think they were getting the Super Bowl chatter. I threw it in there at the time, though, because they had a recipe that could have gotten them there. Now they're a different team, though, too. And they are not exempt. I've been criticizing them a ton in the second half of the season. They have absolutely been a different team. They've been playing worse. Kyler has not been the same player either. He's not exempt from criticism. He's going to get it because he's a high-profile player. He's going to get it. Everybody already has been on him a little bit.
This game on Monday night, with this amount of pressure and being the Monday night game, man, this is a big game for both franchises, both head coaches, both quarterbacks, legacies. All that stuff is right.
Because here's the thing:
for Matt Stafford than Kyler. Like Kyler, you can absorb a first-round loss. I mean, Lamar lost 2 in a row. Peyton lost a few.
Sure.
So that stuff happens.
Right. Now, the thing is, though, there's more to be had here. Like, if the Rams win, it's okay. They were expected to. If the Cardinals win, it's like, okay, we got to take them seriously because they got the job done. So that's the thing. It's like it's two varying situations, but it should be interesting. And this is probably the most, like, this is the toughest game to pick, I think, the whole week. This is the toughest game. And we're going to see what happens, guys. This is a great discussion, by the way. This is absolutely great discussion. We don't normally carry on unless we're fucking having fire here. And I think we had great discussion tonight. So I hope everybody enjoyed it. I'm going to actually do my job now as the tech guy for the night. I'm going to put the P&I stuff on in the background, and we're gonna wind this baby down, all right? How's that sound? Are we good? Everybody good? Everybody ready to call it a night?
Get tired here, man.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, you know the drill at this point. Prize Picks, baby. This episode of P&I, episode 49, right? Almost 50 episodes deep. This episode was brought to you by Prize Picks, your home for daily fantasy sports. New users who sign up for Prize Picks today using the promo code ICONIC will receive a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. That's, again, promo code ICONIC. Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy. Check us out on propshq.com, where we were live tonight. That's the Props Network. We regularly will have our show updates up there, live streams, our Twitter accounts up there. It's an amazing website. Check it out, okay? And then next week, a reminder, so the next show is not Monday. The next show is Tuesday, so that we can analyze this crazy-ass Monday game that we just spent a lot of time talking about because it's that insane, okay? So we're doing the show on Tuesday at 8 p.m. This will also be a live stream. Philly Phil's going to be back.
Yeah. Phil, I can't wait.
Fucking pumped for that.
As for the weekend, guys, okay, stay tuned for all of our DFS lineups on social media. We're going to post our game picks again for everybody to see. It's going to be up on our Instagram. We're going to have a Saturday contest for DFS, classic contest, all right? This is Saturday games only. So you got 2 games on that slate. You got Sunday contest, 3-game slate, classic, same thing, all right? And then you got Monday, Showdown Captain contest, all right? So you got 3 contests coming your way. You're going to have our lineups. Go make some money. We've been doing really well with our picks and DFS lineups for that matter. Go out and compete. It's the playoffs, baby. All right? I'm ready to pass it off to Nick Theories. Have a great night, guys. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Nick.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate all the love, support, and the comments. If you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on YouTube. We are also available on propshq.com, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Megaphone, Stitcher, and all that other shit. So subscribe to us, like it, rate us 5 stars, do whatever you got to do to get our name out there. We appreciate it. Also, follow us on all of our socials, such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And we'll see you guys Tuesday night at P&I.
Playoffs!